couldn't roll dice. I remember. I remember when the Saints didn't play cards. Y'all don't like me. You couldn't play old maids, amen. Not even, nothing, because cards were involved. Is anybody with me? You couldn't play Monopoly. Because dice was involved. Amen. And some of us couldn't even shoot marbles. Because somebody said that, the Bible said what? Marble not. But again now, we couldn't play, the pastor, we couldn't play ball. We couldn't, in my home, we couldn't ride our bicycles on Sunday. Because Sunday now was restricted to limited activity beyond church life. So all you did on Sunday was you go to church.
That's right.
You spend time in church.
Yes.
There was no watch, no clock, no tick-tock in church. All day was relegated to church. Hello, somebody. Sunday school would go until they got tired. Amen. And the pastor would review the lesson, and then we'd finally move into worship. Amen. And get out of service somewhere around 3 o'clock.
Yes.
At 4 o'clock for Sunshine Band.
That's right.
For purity class.
I remember them days.
6 o'clock for YPWW.
Yes.
All you could do was church. Amen. You couldn't do certain things on Sunday. Amen. Some sisters wouldn't even cook on Sunday. Amen. You cooked your Sunday dinner on Wednesday, on Saturday, and all you did, and you didn't warm it up too good on Sunday. You just kind of warm it up a little bit on Sunday after church mealtime. Is anybody with me so far? It was a time now when and I'm not bothering nobody, I'm just talking about yesterday's church. I'm going somewhere, but there was a time when women couldn't wear pants and makeup was a no-no. A time when you had to be careful, ladies, how much hot comb you put in your hair. Amen. There was a time when you couldn't cut your hair. Amen. Because they taught you that your hair was your glory.
Yes.
You had to watch how you painted up. Am I in the wrong place? And certain colors, Dr. Little were off limit. Amen. I remember the church where I attend, and I'm not condemning nobody. I'm just telling you what I remember. I remember when the sisters didn't wear feathers. I remember when they didn't wear red. I remember when they didn't wear shoes with their toes out or their heels out. I remember. I just look young, but I've been around here a while. Yes. And you had to watch how you painted up. Certain colors were off limit because you didn't want to look worldly. And in other words, you wanted to look like you were saved. You wanted to look like you were. That's what the saints back then taught. You had to look like you were holy. And of course, the only thing that we could play and act out was house. As little kids, we could play house. Yeah. We can play house. Y'all don't know anything about playing house? And yes. Where the brother would be the daddy and somebody else would be the mama, and we played house. We played house. And the only other thing we could play was church. Amen. Somebody would be the preacher. Oh, y'all not going with me tonight. I'm going somewhere. But then too, along with now the strict disciplines that we were under, there were other disciplines that we had to adhere to. Like there was the discipline of television. In that we couldn't be found just watching anything on TV. Anybody with me? Not even too much TV for that matter. I remember when television was almost a no-no in sanctified circles. And then it was called the one-eyed demon. Anybody with me? Yeah. And those saints, Dr. Little, who did have one, didn't talk too much about it because you didn't want folk to judge your salvation based upon the one-eyed demon you had in your living room. Come on, please. But some of you remember the early days of television. In fact, the days of the black and white versions. When there was no such thing as color TV with 3 channels. ABC, NBC, and CBS. that all somehow signed off somewhere around midnight with flags flying and the national anthem playing. Am I the only one? And if by chance you fell asleep before midnight with the TV on and you woke up way over in the night, all you heard was a because somehow around midnight the TV set had flatlined. Oh, y'all don't like me. There was what we call snow on the screen. And there was no such thing as cable nor satellite TV. But rather we had antennas. We had rabbit ears. Oh, somebody know what I'm talking about. Yes, and in order now to get a clear reception,
I'm glad I ain't live in your generation.
Yes, and God forbid that you broke one. You get a clothes hanger. Oh, I'm going somewhere. You get a clothes hanger, and then to get an even clearer reception, you go in the kitchen and get some aluminum foil. Oh, I'm in the house. Yeah. And you attach it to the end. There was no remote control, just a channel knob. And when you wanted to change channel, or when you wanted to go to one of the other 2 or 3 channels, you had to get up and go flip the channel. Hello, somebody. Unless you had a channel flipper. Do you know what a channel flipper back in the day was? It was a little brother, it was a little boy, a little big girl, you know, that you said, hey, go change the channel. And God forbid that the little rascal went over there and broke. I may not hoot tonight, but God forbid that you broke what you would do is you go to the toolkit. And you get a pair of what? You get a pair of pliers. If you didn't have a pair of pliers, you just go to the kitchen and get a fork. Oh, it's gonna be all right in here. I can remember, Dr. Little, that after my grandfather finally bought a TV, and of course it wasn't just wasn't no flat screen. There were big belly TVs, and even before the big belly TVs, there were consoles. Yeah, you had it all. But I can remember before of course, my grandfather wasn't saved, Bishop. And of course, my brother, my sister, and I, raised by my grandparents, we were kind of glad that Daddy wasn't saved. Because had Daddy been saved, we would not gotten a TV set. But after he went out and bought one, there were only certain shows that we could watch. As children, we could watch Mr. Peppermint. We could watch Felix the Cat. We could watch Deputy Dog. Y'all don't know about that. We could watch the Flintstones. But then too, that was Leave It to Beaver. We could watch Leave It to Beaver. We could watch the westerns, the westerns. We could watch Gunsmoke. We could watch Wagon Train. We could watch Bonanza. Oh, come on, somebody. But then now, there too were certain game shows that we were permitted to watch. Shows like Jeopardy. Shows like Truth or Consequence. Anybody know anything about that? But in addition now, to those, that was a particular show that I can remember, Dr. Little, that was called To Tell the Truth. I see an avenue. I see where I'm trying to go. That was a show called To Tell the Truth, where 3 now different people would step onto the set. They would walk onto the set, and they would all declare that they were one and the same person. In fact, contestant number 1 would stand and say, my name is Alfred Adams. Contestant number 2, who are you? My name is Alfred G. Adams. Contestant number 3 would stand and say, I am the Superintendent Adam G. Adams. Now after the facilitator or the questioner had posed certain questions to them, the moderator would then say, will the real Adam Edwards please stand up? And of course, if any of you remember, you can remember that all three of them would make an attempt to kind of stand, and they would kind of vacillate back and forth. But eventually, the real Adam Edwards would stand up. I know where I'm going tonight. Well, as I pondered, Dr. Little, Bishop Little, as I pondered this in preparation again, I came here with the notion of the church's identity, and in particular, in looking at this text before us, I was caused to reminisce on that particular show. Because in looking retrospectively at yesterday's church, in comparison to the church of today, it seems that the question, brothers and sisters, is obvious. And that somehow amidst the peril and the confusion and even the chaos of the day, that the real church's identity, that our identity is up for examination.